Okay.
So everyone, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining on this Friday afternoon here. And we are going to be talking about something that's very, very passionate to me, that I have devoted my entire life to, and it is the subject of art history. And it's something that I studied. My background is actually at Sotheby's Institute in London, where I did my master's many moons ago. And for the past many years, I've been in the fine art world, working primarily with contemporary artists at the Warhol Museum, Dali Museum, MoMA, Sotheby's, Christie's, and many other projects called Art Capsule, which is an art meets fashion, art meets film, art meets technology kind of project of mine. And it's been a very exciting background. So today we're going to be talking about how we arrived at the most expensive NFT in existence today, which is actually the least expensive old masterwork from a fine art perspective. So what I basically did when I approached the NFT creation is that I utilized my background in curating some of today's most exciting artists, whether it be George Condo, Marina Abramovic, Terence Koh, Micheline Thomas, who we just also presented at the Dior show in Paris this past February after a 10-year anniversary. And basically, I took that same sensibility into art history. I think that my background has been very interspersed with working with W Magazine and what have you, and I actually put together an actual column with Monet and what have you. So as you can see here in the picture, this is the art history NFT project that I've been working on. I recently debuted this at NFT Paris, actually at the opening of Art Basel Paris. I presented it in the very famous Emmanuel Ungaro atelier, and it was met with quite a lot of success. So we presented with Samsung, and these are actually animated old masters that have been re-contingent for the blockchain, and I was the very first person to put the old masters on the blockchain. So that's a project that actually originated even before there was the word NFT. It was something that I've been involved with for a very long time. I was exposed to cryptocurrency very early, and of course with my art background, it was a natural synthesis for me. So that led also to being invited to do the very first BMW NFT art car, which we presented in the Hamptons this past summer. And for that, I thought it was an interesting exploration in how to utilize utility when it comes to NFTs. And for me, this is very simple because it's something I've been doing in the art world for a very long time. If you have video art, it's something that you can easily pull a still from and then apply to a canvas, a print, what have you. And in this particular case, we did create a wallpaper that utilizes the Van Gogh almond blossom pattern that we then kind of recreated for this particular wallpaper that went on to the first BMW NFT art car. So I loved that. It was actually kind of one of those funny things. I'm one of those girls who kind of is a tomboy. I love being involved with the production. And I think the BMW people were shocked that I actually knew how to wrap a car with vinyl wrapping. But I absolutely loved it. And this is a little bit about what I did specifically with Van Gogh in my Art Meets Fashion column at W Magazine. I basically have had an ongoing column for probably 10 years already, where I mix haute couture and art backgrounds. And this particular trip was a trip to Monet's gardens in Giverny, France, and it was actually the actual setting that Monet utilized to paint his famous water lilies and all of the gorgeous, lush scenography that we've seen so often in his paintings. So from that, you can see that I've had a very long time relationship with the Monet Foundation, and it was very, very special to then be able to utilize that in the artworks and proceed with that as well. This shows a little bit more about some of the other old masters who are included. Van Gogh, Starry Night. This shows also Bit Basel when we the very first launch of the edition was already several years ago. And it's been primarily being sold privately because of my background in the fine art world. I think that I'm still looking and taking the temperature on when these two worlds intervene and intertwine, I think, in a more solid way, but it's absolutely coming together. And my goal with this collection, in addition to bringing old masters to the blockchain, which in a lot of ways gives the entire original works a brand new life. My goal also was to explore the actual art market, which was a huge part of my background looking at the auction environments. And I think that we were all very, very shocked and probably I think it's incredible to this day about Beeple's sale for $69 million at the height of COVID. That really shocked everyone when it became the third most expensive living artist, only behind Jeff Koons and David Hockney, and nobody in the art world had even really heard of Beeple the day before that. Whereas Jeff Koons and David Hockney have had 40 years of exhibitions at some of the most prestigious art galleries and museums. So there has been a very established methodology for how their art is calculated and valued in the art market that has not been the case at all in the crypto space. So you would never, ever, 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 ever in a million years see in the art world, I don't care how talented you are, somebody come in and get $69 million for a piece of art. It just would not happen. The fact that this did happen in crypto is so exciting. It's the new frontier. It's amazing. But there also needs to be a way to protect the consumer, protect people, so they can actually have an apples-to-apples comparison. There needs to be an exhibition history. There needs to be museum exhibitions and what have you to continue to create a real value system when it comes to art. And I think that that is what the goal is here when I actually took this masterwork collection and said, listen, I'm going to be the first person to say there shouldn't be a disparity here. This is a very, very powerful new vehicle that I'm thrilled about with NFTs, but I'm going to peg this to 1% of the actual art market. The art indexes, we have the great benefit of these fabulous auction records that are public auction records that we utilize as comps. Comps happen the same way they do in real estate and other industries where you look at something similar value, similar artist, similar price, and that is how a price gets established. So basically what I did was I took some of the great masters, put them on the blockchain, and pegged it to 1% of the actual art market. And that was $450 million is about the average price of that, which became 4.5 million each at 1%, and then the top 100 is a loop of 450 million, which is basically the price of one painting, one masterwork painting right now that does hold the record. So very expensive for the NFT market, very inexpensive for the art market, but still a record setter. So that's basically it. We've had a lot of coverage from NASDAQ on this and a wide variety, and it's just been an incredible pleasure.
It's amazing. You can give that to the team. Let's give Stacy
thank
a
you
hand,
all.
everybody. Thank you so much, Stacy.